literally is hashtag WWE Network or die for the WWE. Because Jesus Christ, if you watch this show, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. The WWE was totally disinterested with anything pertaining to Raw at all. They were basically advocating, you can fucking skip this Raw, just go check out the WWE Network. You can watch this on cable and you can sit there and give us your rating, or instead you can check out a couple hours of free trial of the WWE Network. And shit, if you didn't think this was going to happen, you got it right smack dab in the fucking face right at the beginning of the damn show. Here comes the epitome of corporate shill, John Cena, to come out and sit there. And is he trying to really set the table for his freaking pay-per-view match? Is he really trying to talk about what the championship belt means to him? No, he's trying to sit there and plug the goddamn WWE Network and the free trial that still had a few hours left. Basically, again, advocating, why watch Raw? Just go watch the WWE Network for free. We won't even need your credit card information to try and hook you in any way, shape, or form to try and get you to fucking subscribe. That was the first thing Cena freaking referenced. And then there was more jibber jabber. And I love when Roman Reigns came out and he got the huge fucking monster pop. And he tries to tell Cena, who's sitting there and doing more pointless jibber jabber, to get to the fucking point. To be fair, Roman, Cena did get to the fucking point. The whole point of the opening segment was to plug the fucking WWE Network. Even when Ambrose is speaking on the Titantron, he gets surrounded by Rollins and Kane, and it seems like a Randy Orton who may or may not have missed his cue. And he proceeds to get the holy hell piss beat out of him. Where the fuck are John Cena and Roman Reigns? Are they taking a walk down Broad Street in Richmond? Are they sitting there in the ring checking out the WWE Network? Because they seem to have zero concern at all for Dean Ambrose. They had zero concern, it seems like, for trying to find these guys to protect Dean Ambrose, who was supposed to be their tag team partner for the big six-man main fucking event. That's a certain damn dog couldn't contain her excitement from seeing Roman Reigns in the opening segment. Had to take her for like a 12-minute walk outside, which means apparently I missed the Miz beating Sheamus. Holy hell. Miz is a heel, and he's beating Sheamus. Next Intercontinental Champion? Who knows? Who cares? WWE can sit there and plug pointless WWE Network and video game shit that has nothing to do with Raw and nothing to do with the pay-per-view this upcoming Sunday. I'm going to take the opportunity all throughout this review to plug shit that has nothing to do with Raw and has nothing to do with this Raw review. Which reminds me, starting July 20th, that's July 20th, you will see the SummerSlam review series here on OTRSCentral. Every day, a different SummerSlam review from SummerSlams of yesterday. I'll be reviewing every SummerSlam from 1988 to 2012. So make sure you check it out starting July 20th. You know what'll sell the WWE Network? You know what'll sell people on Battleground this Sunday? A makeout scene between Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, which reminds me, make sure you check out my most recent video about the WWE's problem with racism and why it's bad for business. I'll put the link to that video in the description box down below. You know what? Fuck it. From now on, I'm going to sit there and refer to Dolph Ziggler as mediocre bum Bartholomew Gunn II. It's a mouthful, but I think it perfectly fits. Maybe we can sit there and have him partake in the Scrum for Scrubs and have that be a big thing that builds up to WrestleMania 31, and then that way he can get knocked the fuck out by Butterbean. Dolph getting kissed by Layla and Summer Rae. So at the live events, we get the girls kissing. On the Raw, we get him kissing the dude. Nothing says captivating, entertaining Raw. Nothing says subscribe to the WWE Network more than shameless product placement skits written into the show for freaking Sonic. Which reminds me, make sure you check out the most recent Q&A episode here on OTRSCentral. Reminder again, that Q&As happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday, you take to Twitter and ask your questions. Friday, you do it via Facebook. I'll put all that information in the description box. There's one thing I wish would have happened. I literally wish Damian Sandow during this whole freaking thing would have looked at the hot dog and said, you know what, Hardee's is better, taking the hot dog, throw it, and said, fuck this shit, and walked off. Frankly, what's it going to do to his character? It's not going to hurt it any more than they're already hurting it. So I guess the WWE decided now was finally the time to actually implement some real elements of attempting to build a rivalry or a feud between the Wyatt family and the freaking Usos. Oh wow, the Wyatt family attacked the Usos from behind. Whoopee! Far too late for us to really care. Far too many matches between these two teams. So let's build to a Battleground match for the titles. Best 2 out of 3 falls. One segment that the WWE seemed to take very seriously, it seemed like almost too seriously, was this debate featuring Zeb Colter and Lana, basically, with Swagger and Rusev just kind of sitting there and filling up space and sucking up oxygen. This segment was kind of across the spectrum here. I will say it was funny that Putin got a pop and Obama got some booze. Again, it almost seems like Vince McMahon takes great pleasure out of this shit. One thing, Vince, as I pointed out on Twitter to you last night, you can sit there and knock an Obama all you want. You can sit there and knock a Putin all you want. But keep in mind, Putin 316 says Obama spent other people's money to win elections. You spent $100 million of your own money to lose 2 Senate campaigns for your wife. Oopsie daisies. I love the nationalistic feel of this. The only thing I say is that at Battleground, I think you could set it up to get another match out of him at SummerSlam. Maybe you have Rusev win, but afterwards something happens and Swagger locks in the Patriot lock, and he keeps it on Rusev until Rusev passes out from the pain. That way you give a reason for the feud to continue. You also establish Rusev as a real legit tough badass, taking the submission finisher to the point where he passes out. That shit always works, and it would help Swagger too from a babyface standpoint. Get a huge pop. And then after SummerSlam, I know who Rusev should feud with. There's only one real American hero left, and his name is Mark motherfucking Henry. You damn right. I could talk about ADR versus RVD, the battle of the alphabets, but frankly, I don't give a fuck, and I'm sure you don't give a fuck. So let me tell you, if you want my thoughts on non-wrestling related topics, go to youtube.com/SlegDaddyTV. Also, make sure you follow my personal Twitter account, and I'll put all that information in the description box too. You know, the WWE didn't care about this, so why should I? They were more concerned about pimping out CM Punk's documentary going to appear on the WWE Network tomorrow. So they spent months trying to avoid referencing him in every way, shape, or form. But when it comes time to get some subscribers to the WWE Network, some eyeballs on the WWE Network, and your desperation leaves you with no other choice, you have no problem pimping out and prostituting the CM Punk name for the benefit of the WWE Network. And how could I forget? How could I forget? How dare I? Make sure after you watch this review, or shit, even now, who cares? You probably already tuned out anyways. Make sure you go check out my video I did last week about how the WWE Network free trial shows the desperation of WWE. Hey, it's pertaining to the WWE Network, so fucking watch it. Watch it! So many of you thought that Sting was actually going to be on Raw, like physically make an appearance here in Richmond. 7-14-14 equals promoting Sting's appearance at WWE 2K15. It was amazing to watch the interwebs explode with a bunch of older fans talking about how, hey, we forgot that John Cena's the cover boy of WWE 2K15, and as a result, we weren't going to buy it. Now Sting's going to be in the game, both Surfer and Crow Sting. That means I'm going to buy it because Sting is awesome. That means this game is awesome. The one match on this show was Cesaro versus Big E. So apparently now Cesaro likes to feud with the black guys. Hey, whatever, terrific. Another victory for the black man and Big E. Outstanding. Hooray. That means the company's not racist, right? Well, let me ask you this. Do you still think Cesaro is better off being associated with Paul Heyman? Because they seem to go to great lengths to emphasize that they didn't know what Heyman was doing, but it wasn't anything pertaining to Cesaro because Paul Heyman was too busy trying to introduce Triple H and Stephanie McMahon to Option C. We don't like Brock Lesnar. He ended the streak. Oh my God, he could wrestle John Cena at SummerSlam. That's awesome. I think one of the things most everyone was looking forward to with this show is you were assuming that Jericho and Wyatt were going to deliver with a big promo segment to hype up their match at Battleground. And Y2J was definitely the Y2J that you would grow accustomed to seeing. He was in his top form. It was funny, though. Maybe this is emphasizing, that sometimes you have Bray Wyatt say too much. There were actually some people, not a ton, mind you, but there were actually some people chanting boring while he was talking. I just wish they wouldn't have rushed so easily and so quickly into Wyatt and Jericho. I think they could have at least waited a little bit because now they're already going full scale into multiple beatdowns of Jericho by Rowan and Harper and Bray Wyatt, and it's just... You're really diving into this very aggressively. Maybe the slow burn would have been a little bit better. Maybe it would have been better waiting until the road to SummerSlam and Night of Champions. Just saying. So apparently Paige loves AJ, and apparently AJ loves Paige. Apparently they're great BFFs. They're chums. They're pals. They're buds. I guess. I'll be patient with the WWE and see where they go with this. Why sit there and actually give people legitimate reasons to subscribe to the WWE Network when you could just prostitute out this free trial and make that the most important emphasis of your entire show? And of course, to me, logically, I say, hey, the WWE Network isn't doing that well. You know, the WWE is looking to cut at least $20 million out of its budget by the end of the year. So you know what that means? Let's bring in Flo Rida next week. One awesome thing that happened on Raw, and it happens every week because this man is awesome, is Bo Dallas. He talked about the big heart of an El Torito, and of course, he takes on all comers. He is not afraid. He takes on the great Khali. And no matter how you splice it, by hook or by crook, a win is a win, and a count-out victory still counts as a victory, still leads to a victory celebration that was unceremoniously interrupted by the great Khali and that uncalled-for cheap shot. Bad giant, Khali. Bad giant. But I know one thing to be true. At this pace and at this point, I'm a very big advocate of Bo Dallas becoming the next Intercontinental Champion. You're talking about a guy that'll wrestle every week, a guy that'll actually win matches, a guy that has an actual little bit of story to his freaking character. I believe that that would be good for business for the WWE. The WWE took another opportunity to promote the WWE Network and the free trial, basically implying that you're better off just going and watching the free trial for a couple of hours than you are watching the rest of this show. And frankly, the WWE was right. You know, they happened to mention a little bit about Battleground, and that's all fine and good, which reminds me again, make sure you check out a couple of new video series here on OTRSCentral. The 12 question series, where every Saturday I ask you 12 questions about a particular wrestling topic. You have the forum in the comment section to answer, and then every Wednesday I do videos about your answers, and then every Sunday here on OTRSCentral, you now get the Triple Threat video series. Make sure you check out all of these series and all of these great videos here on OTRSCentral. So the WWE brings in Ric Flair to appear on Raw. Hashtag Rick is Richmond as far as I'm concerned. His old stomping grounds from the Mid-Atlantic days. And this is all fine and good. But what does Rick do? He arrives. He woos. He makes passes at Renee Young. He says Cena will win because that's his man. He shakes hands with Roman Reigns. Then he goes up the ramp, takes the belt from John Cena, and leaves. Woo! So mercifully, we got to the main event, which was going to end up being a handicap tag of Cena and Reigns versus the Authority. That's Kane, Orton, and Rollins. And at one point in time in the match, it looked like Seth Rollins took a nasty fall and may have hurt his knee, hopefully not significantly, but I guess we'll find out. Another DQ main event finish. You know, this is, come on, it's too much of this crap. And my other thing is as you go through the semantics of this, you got to make Cena look like God, and you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to make Orton look like a viable threat. Then at the end, they have Reigns kind of reign supreme, but then they're positioning the cameras in a way where they're really teasing Roman Reigns and John Cena. Now, my thing is, WWE, you are positioning us to a point where I don't think you're realizing what you're doing. You are planting the seed in people's minds that this is the match that they would rather see at SummerSlam, that this is the match that they don't want to see maybe next year at WrestleMania. This is the match that they want to see now. And if you're doing that and you're not going to sit there and actually deliver, and you're not actually going to give them that match anytime soon, then shame on fucking you. It shows you just how out of touch you are with the reality of your fan base and the reality of your product today. People are tired of the same old shit. Stop sitting there and teasing this and going out of your way to continue to tease this if you're not eventually going to go all the way there. And no, don't you dare sit there and fucking turn Roman Reigns heel just so we got feud with Cena. If you do that, fuck you. Just like you said, fuck you to everybody that watched this show this week by emphasizing the WWE Network more than anything else. Just like I'm saying fuck you to everything by sitting there and promoting my channel, youtube.com/OTRSCentral, and all the great videos on this channel like the Q&As, the Triple Threat videos, the 12 question series, Impact reviews are back, NXT reviews every week, all the other commentary videos that I do, the Schleg Daddy TV channel, youtube.com/Schleg Daddy TV, where I talk about things pertaining to sports and politics and basically everything that isn't professional wrestling. If they can say fuck it to this week's Raw, so can I. Fuck it.